A very warm welcome to today's session on lipid oxidation. Myself, Dr. Mausmi Shankar Adala, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Biochemistry, working in St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous. The contents involved are lipid oxidation introduction, beta oxidation, odd chain fatty acid oxidation, alpha
Learning outcomes will be lipid oxidation, different types of lipid oxidation, and the pathways.
oxidation, and omega oxidation. Glycerol and fatty acids are produced when fats break down. It is easy to convert glycerol to dihydroxyacetone phosphate for glycolysis or to manufacture glucose for gluconeogenesis. Acetyl-CoA breaks down fatty acids into two carbon units. They need to be carried into mitochondria and through the cytoplasm while coupled to coenzyme A in order to be oxidized. In the final stage, the fatty acids must bind itself to a carnitine molecule and the coenzyme A must be removed. The fatty acid is reattached to the coenzyme A in the mitochondrial matrix once the carnitine complex has been transferred across the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Fatty acid oxidation, often known as beta oxidation, is a relatively easy process. The situation is somewhat complicated by the unsaturated fatty acids, mainly because if they are biological in origin, they have cis bonds that need to be converted to appropriate trans intermediate created in the step 1. In order to position the bond correctly, it occasionally needs to be moved along the chain as well. All of the isomerizations and movements required to oxidize every unsaturated fatty acid are handled by two enzymes. So this is the pictorial description where the cytoplasm is present and the matrix is present. So we have the acyl-CoA present in the matrix where it is converted into acyl carnitine, and here also acyl protein along with the coenzyme A is taken from the cytosol through the help of the carnitine, that is acyl carnitine. It will be carried to the matrix where it is again split into carnitine and acyl carnitine, and then the acyl is again added by the coenzyme A that is already present in the mitochondrial matrix. Enzymes involved in the beta oxidation are fatty acid oxidation reactions are noteworthy for mirroring the oxidations in the later half of citric acid cycle. Hydroxylation across the double bond to form L-malate, oxidation of the hydroxyl to form a ketone, and a dehydrogenation of succinate to form a trans double bond. Notable are two of the beta oxidation enzymes. The first is acyl-CoA dehydrogenase, which produces FADH2 by catalyzing the first dehydrogenation. It is available in three different forms. One that targets fatty acids with long, medium or short chains. Animal peroxisomes contain the first of them while the mitochondrial house the others. Only in the peroxisome can the beta oxidation occur in plants and yeast. The acyl-CoA dehydrogenase that functions on medium length fatty acids is the most intriguing of the group. So this is the beta oxidation flow chart where the fatty acyl CoA is converted into fatty acyl CoA with 2 carbon. The coenzyme A is removed with the help of the enzyme thiolase, and then it is converted into beta ketoacyl CoA, and then it is converted into beta hydroxyacyl CoA with the help of again dehydrogenase enzyme. Wherever dehydrogenase enzyme is involved, NADH plays a major role as coenzyme. Therefore, all these NADHs are again subsequently entering into ETC to produce ATP. From here, the enoyl CoA is produced, and this enoyl CoA, in the presence of dehydrogenase, again it results in the formation of fatty acyl CoA. So the main intention is the production of NADH generated, which and FAD generated, which will go and enter the ETC to produce ATP. Next, enoyl CoA hydratase catalyzes reaction number 2 in beta oxidation. The last enzyme in the beta oxidation is called thiolase, and it is important because it is not only catalyzing the creation of acetyl CoAs during the beta oxidation, but also joins two acyl CoAs, reversing the final step of beta oxidation. Oxidation of odd chain fatty acids. While the majority of biologically derived fatty acids have an even number of carbons, this is not always the case. Propionyl-CoA, an intermediate with 3 carbons that is produced when fatty acids with odd chain carbon counts are oxidized, is incapable of being further oxidized via the beta oxidation route. It is an unusual intermediate in metabolism. The subsequent actions taking place are carboxylation to make d-methylmalonyl-CoA, isomerization to CoA. The B12 coenzyme is used to the enzyme methylmalonyl CoA mutase in its catalytic cycle, which is the final step in the process. The citric acid cycle can then be used to metabolize succinyl CoA produced here. Here there is a pictorial description of the thing what we are reading about. Next one is unsaturated fatty acid oxidation. As mentioned above, the two or more enzymes are needed in addition to the acids. The fatty acids beta oxidation process can continue normally if the intermediate produced by the process has a trans bond between carbons 2 and 3 instead of cis link between carbons 3 and 4. This is because 6 delta 3 enoyl CoA isomerase will change the bond into a trans bond. In contrast, the first stage of beta oxidation, dehydrogenation between the carbons 2 and 3 produces an intermediate with a carbons 2 and 3 and a cis double bond between carbons 4 and 5 in the beta oxidation results in an intermediate with a cis double bond between carbons 4 and 5. Coming to alpha oxidation is yet another factor in the oxidation of the fatty acids. The degradation of the fatty acids with branching in their chains require this route. When the phytol group in the chlorophyll is broken down, for instance, the result in the phytanic acid R, which is then oxidized and hydroxylated on carbon number 2, oxylated and produces a period that can be further oxidized by the beta oxidation pathway. Despite being oxidation is responsible for the formation of phytanic acid, which causes brain damage in refsum's illness when the pathway's response are not carried out. Whereas beta oxidation occurs in mitochondria and releases acetyl-CoA per cycle, alpha oxidation occurs in peroxisomes from the carboxylic end right next to the alpha carbon in order to oxidize a fatty acid. When a methyl group is present at the beta carbon of a fatty acid, beta oxidation is prevented and alpha oxidation takes place. ATP is not being produced. The pathway of alpha oxidation involves the breakdown of fatty acids in the final result of sequence of enzymes events known as alpha oxidation pathway. This pathway primary process includes thiolysis, oxidation, hydration, and activation. Together, these successive events break down fatty acids into smaller molecules that can be further used for the other metabolic process or the creation of the energy, which includes activation, hydration, oxidation, and thiolysis. The molecules of fatty acids is primed for further breakdown via activation. The fatty acid is initially made acyl-CoA synthase enzyme. Hydration. Following activation, the fatty acyl-CoA hydrates, adding a hydroxyl group to the molecule's alpha carbon position. Oxidation. A keto group is formed by the alpha carbon position as a result of the oxidation step, which involves the oxidation of the hydroxyl group that was introduced in the preceding step. Thiolysis. During the thiolysis, the alpha ketoacyl CoA is broken down into acetyl CoA and a shorter acyl CoA molecule, marking the end of the alpha oxidation pathway. What is the significance of alpha oxidation? First of all, it provides an additional pathway for breakdown that have methyl groups at the alpha carbon position, which are not susceptible to oxidation. This allows for the efficient breakdown of some fatty acids that are not being metabolized by the conventional route. Furthermore, alpha oxidation plays a very major role in the metabolism of branched chain fatty acids such as phytanic acid. Food sources that contain this branched chain phytanic acid include dairy products and certain types of meat. Alpha oxidation ensures that the fatty acids are broken down approximately, preventing the accumulation. Alpha oxidation associated diseases. There are some deficits and shortages of enzymes related to the alpha oxidation that can lead to a variety of metabolic disorders. One such ailment is Refsum's illness that was previously mentioned. It is caused by the deficiency in the alpha oxidation enzyme called as phytanol CoA hydroxylase. As a result, phytanic acid accumulates and creates issues with the nervous system and vision. The last one is the omega oxidation of fatty acids. In certain animal species, the process of fatty acids and metabolism is known as omega oxidation, or the symbol is mentioned. An alternate process to beta oxidation called as omega oxidation involves oxidizing the omega carbon rather than beta carbon. In addition to beta oxidation, the endoplasmic reticulum of the cells also undergoes another process called as omega oxidation. The metabolism of fatty acids with a methyl group undergoes omega. This one, the steps involved are hydroxylation, oxidation, cleavage, and further metabolism. So in here, under the significance of omega oxidation, the detoxification of the xenobiotic substances occurs, such as some medications and pollutants from the environment, depends heavily on the omega oxidation. Usually hydrophobic, these substances must undergo enzymatic changes to increase their water solubility in order to be eliminated. These xenobiotics are hydroxylated and then modified, which makes it easier for the body to eliminate them. This process is aided by the omega oxidation. The defects in the beta oxidation results in the formation of a number of ailments. Coming to the summary, so we have seen that the glycerol and fatty acids are produced when fats break down. It is very easy to convert glycerol to DHAP for glycolysis to manufacture glucose from gluconeogenesis. Acetyl CoA breaks down fatty acids into two carbon units. They need to be carried into mitochondria and to the cytoplasm. Thank you.